The St Cuthbert's Way is a 100-kilometer trail through the Scottish borders and Northumberland, following in the footsteps of St Cuthbert from Melrose to Holy Island. This week we're crossing into England and continuing towards Lindisfarne, passing more places connected to Cuthbert's story along the way. It's a peaceful stretch of the trail with quiet countryside, open landscapes and picturesque villages. If you're new here, I'm Elli. I'm a long-distance hiker and backpacker. And this is Otto, my best friend and hiking buddy. So come join us for the second half of the St Cuthbert's Way.
Good morning. Day 4 on the St Cuthbert's Way. Let's make a coffee and start the day. Such a nice, peaceful little site. Good morning! We just set off from the campsite in town Yetholm. We had a really good night. I slept so well. It was so quiet and peaceful and just the ideal night in a tent, honestly. And now we're ready and rested to tackle the second part of the St Cuthbert's Way, going over the Cheviots today. So let's go! We've been on the Pennine Way now. Both trails, the Pennine Way and St Cuthbert's Way, intersect for a little bit. But now the Pennine Way is heading south, going over the tops, over the Cheviots. And we are heading east, southeast. Oh, look at that. This is the border to England. Da 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 da, and we're in England. It's so nice to be up on the moorland, up on the Cheviots, just in the middle of nowhere. This is so nice. I'm so happy. It's such a nice day again.
We're now walking along the edge of the Cheviots into Northumberland. This area honestly wasn't that much on my radar before this walk, but I've been really surprised by how much I like it. A beautiful mix of rolling hills, moorland, little woodlands and country lanes. It's incredibly quiet out here. For most of the day, there's absolutely no phone signal and hardly another person around, even on a Sunday. The walking is really gentle, with mostly easy paths and gradual climbs, so there's plenty of time to just wander along, think about absolutely nothing in particular, and take in the landscape. It's the kind of walk where you can just settle into a nice rhythm and enjoy being out here.
Wow, this is such a peaceful, picturesque landscape. Look at that. Wow, this is gorgeous. This is where we came over. Oh wow, it's just so beautiful, so quiet. "12 kilometers in and we're on our second climb." so beautiful. I can't believe how sparsely populated this part of Northumberland is. It's so remote, there's no signal. It feels so far away from everything. This is great. This up there, I don't know how well you can see it, but there's a wall going along the top of this hill. This is Beal, an Iron Age, if I remember it correctly, Iron Age hill fort. And apparently there are lots of those in Northumberland. The St Cuthbert way doesn't go directly over the top, but this is definitely on my list for my next trip to the area to do a wild camp up there. I initially had planned to wild camp there yesterday, but then with the forecast not being great, and as you can see it's quite exposed, I didn't go for it, but this would be so nice. So nice just hearing the birds. And then over there you can see it. Again, this is Beal, and you can really see the stone wall running just below the top there. It's always so crazy to think about the people that have lived here thousands of years ago, and just picturing how their life must have been, how the area must have looked back then. It's so interesting to think about. It's really dry at the moment, but these areas over the moors, they can be a bit boggy if it's really wet. First time this year seeing the beautiful bog cotton. We're slowly leaving the Cheviots and we're heading towards Wooler, which is, I think, just behind this hill over there. By the time we're down in Wooler, I think we'll have done 22-23 kilometers, and from what I read in the guidebook, the area past Wooler is more populated and it's low level, it's a lot more farmland, so probably a bit harder to find somewhere discreet to wild camp. And also we're in England now, where wild camping is not legal as it is in Scotland, so obviously you need to be even more discreet, pitching late, and because the days are so long, this is oftentimes not something that's really doable for Otto. So I think I'm going to go to a campsite in Wooler. There is one, and I think it's only £12, so that's perfect for convenience. This is Wooler down there. Already looks really cute. We have made it to the campsite. I just put the tent up. Otto is already having his snack. We have lots of space to ourselves. It's really, really quiet. First things first, I'm going to make a coffee. Oh, so excited. Can't wait. And another day that was dry. The forecast wasn't too great. It just said there probably would be quite a few heavy showers. Time for dinner, and this is the nice thing about being on a more established trail, because I actually get some real food. Ooh, this is a lot more than I thought it would be. It was so cheap, so I thought it would be quite a small portion, but anyway, I'm going to have the rest for breakfast tomorrow, I guess. Oh wow, this is nice. This was day 4 on the St Cuthbert's Way. I really enjoyed the stretch today, just going over the moorland, having these really wide open views over the Cheviots. It was really nice. Really excited what we're going to see tomorrow, and we'll see you then. Good night.
Good morning. Day 5 on the St Cuthbert's Way. It's a bit of a wet morning, but at least it's mild, so yeah, I'm going to get ready for the day, pack down.
The rain has stopped for now. I'm all packed up, and now we're going to head into town for some breakfast and a coffee. Let's go! Oh, this is Hula down there. Oh, beautiful sign. Oh, this is so cute and picturesque. So peaceful and quiet. Some more artwork. Oh wow, this looks beautiful. It shows the stages of the trail and also of St Cuthbert's life. This down there is Melrose Abbey, then probably his life as a shepherd, I think, early life. Then him being a monk and a priest on Holy Island. While it's not the most scenic, most spectacular part of the trail, and there's quite a bit of walking on tarmac today, but still it's so nice just walking along the fields, seeing and hearing the swallows. So peaceful, so calm. Such a nice day. And it's dry, which is great because it was supposed to rain quite heavily on and off, but yeah, even better, it's really mild too.
Along the trail, we come across Holborn Cave, or St Cuthbert's Cave, tucked into the hills. The cave itself formed naturally in the sandstone, with the softer rock gradually wearing away and leaving this huge overhang. But what makes it really interesting is its connection to St Cuthbert. Cuthbert had been prior of Lindisfarne and later became its bishop, before dying there in 687. Almost 200 years later, After repeated Viking raids, the monks finally fled the island in 875, taking Cuthbert's body with them. According to local tradition, they stopped here and hid his remains in this cave for a time.
We had a nice long lunch break and had a coffee, and now we're on our last 10 kilometers for the day to get to the coast. Ooh, this is never a good sign, but so far I didn't see anything yet. Just sheep down there, so hopefully we're lucky. And I don't know if it's just coincidence, but apart from 2 fields just after moor battle a couple of days ago, there actually weren't cattle in the fields that we had to go through. On the Scottish side, in the first part, there was mainly this sort of like double fence, and you could just basically walk around the edge of the field but separated through another fence. I feel like if I'm going over this little bit from what I saw on the map, we should be able to see the sea. Let's have a look. Ah! Woohoo! This is so cool! Wow, look at that. The tide is out. I can see the causeway over there in the distance, and this is Holy Island. You can already see the castle or church. This over there is Holy Island, our finishing point that we're going to reach tomorrow. We're not going to make it across today because this is a tidal island, so it's only accessible at low tide, and by the time we're down there we're not going to make it. Such a nice view. Wow, this is incredible. And once again, I'm so happy that we don't have to walk through this field. Ooh. Little rabbit. We're almost in Fenwick now, which is the first real little village on today's stretch. We're almost 19 kilometers in, and if I saw it correctly on Google Maps, there should be a nice little coffee place there. So that's where I'm heading for an afternoon coffee, maybe a piece of cake. This is what I got, a big cup of coffee and a piece of vegan raspberry cake. It's a really nice little coffee shop. They have plenty of options, quiche, lots of vegan options, cookies, and also little souvenirs from local artists. It's a really nice little shop and cafe. I got something for Otto for later, a dog donut and a lemonade for me for tonight. If you're walking the St Cuthbert's way, definitely get a coffee at the Bean Genie coffee house. This was such a great spot for a little break. The coffee was incredible and the cake was really good too. And now we're on our last 4 kilometers for today. I have booked a campsite that's almost right on trail for tonight. We've made it. This over there is the farm campsite. I just set up the tent to let it dry out from this morning. This is the campsite. I haven't really checked out the facilities yet, but this is the view over Holy Island, which is just over there. And now it's time for Otto's donut that I got from the little coffee shop. Okay. Okay. This is just the best feeling ever. Just lying in the tent, it's mild, it's comfy, hearing the rain on the tent, and you're inside and dry and comfy, and oh, this is so nice. I'm so happy that we've made it to the campsite before the rain really started. This is really, really great. Always the best thing ever. This is the end of day 5 on the St Cuthbert's Way. We only have 6 kilometers tomorrow to go over to Holy Island, and I'm really excited to explore it. It feels like a very special place, also because it's not accessible all the time, and yeah, really excited to see it, and we'll see you tomorrow. Good night! Good morning. Good morning! It's our last day and our last couple of miles on the St Cuthbert's Way. We just set off from Beal farm campsite, which is a really nice site. The safe period where you can cross over the causeway to the island starts in about 10 minutes, and I left quite early because apparently, from what I read, there's a lot to see. There's the old priory, the ruins of it, there's a castle, there's a church, there's apparently a very nice coffee shop that I'm heading for breakfast. Really excited to see it, really excited to finish the St Cuthbert's Way, so let's go! The road is out of the water already, we can walk over it. We've come off this little road to walk the last couple of 100 meters of the St Cuthbert's Way over the sand. Now that the tide is out, it's quite easy to do it. Oh, this is beautiful. Such a special way to end the trail. I think we should be over there where these poles are, but there's still quite a bit of water in there, so we couldn't cross over. I should have maybe removed my shoes for this. I was wondering about the sound, but there's something over there. I don't know. Is it birds? Or are they seals? I don't know. It kind of looks like there could be seals, but there's so many of them. This can't be right. I kind of think that they are seals, but if that's the case, that's incredible because there are so many of them.
There's something quite special about Lindisfarne being a tidal island. You can't just come and go whenever you want. Twice a day, the sea covers the causeway and the island is completely cut off from the mainland. And I think that's part of what makes it feel so different. Once you're here, it almost feels like you've stepped into its own little world.
I just had a really great coffee at the Pilgrims coffee shop. And now we're going to explore the island a little bit. As I said, there's lots to see. First up is the castle on this rock. I don't think that dogs are allowed inside, but we're going to at least walk around and have a look.
Lindisfarne, also known as Holy Island, has been an important center of Christianity for well over 1,000 years. It was here, in the 7th century, that St. Aidan founded a monastery, and it soon became one of the most important centers of Christian learning in the north of England. St. Cuthbert later became prior of Lindisfarne and spent much of his life here. After his death in 687, the island became a major place of pilgrimage.
This is the site where St. Cuthbert was buried. It's so interesting to see all the ruins of the different buildings of the priory and then of course the church.
It was also here that the famous Lindisfarne Gospels were created around the beginning of the 8th century. An incredibly detailed illuminated manuscript containing the 4 Gospels, one of the most important surviving works of Anglo-Saxon art. The priory we see today was of course built much later, but standing among these ruins, it's quite easy to imagine how important this little island once was. And after 100 kilometers of walking from Melrose, arriving here feels like a pretty fitting end to the St. Cuthbert's Way.
One last look over the priory and over Holy Island. It's a really interesting place, really enjoyed exploring the island, just walking around a bit. But now it's time to go back to the mainland because the tide is coming in and we don't want to get cut off. So time to go back. What a perfect end to the trail. I even found vegan ice cream. Oh, this is so perfect. Such a cute place. Incredible.
And that's another trail done. From here, it was time for Otto and me to head back to the van. Thank you so much for following along. I hope you've enjoyed this little adventure with us. Happy hiking, and I see you next time. Bye!